It began with a challenge from a determined American president.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
2 years later, Thursday evening, November 9th, East Germans scaled the Berlin Wall. That was the beginning of the end of the Cold War and Soviet communism. There were tears of joy, cheers, and jubilant applause as East Germans poured through the opening into West Berlin. Some had been separated from friends and relatives for more than 25 years. Others had never set foot in the West. The wall was built in August 1961 on the orders of Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev. Over a period of nearly 3 decades, as many as 200 people had been killed attempting to escape to the West. I asked Pat Robertson to share his reflections on the 20th anniversary. He says he wasn't surprised when the wall and the communist system behind it came crashing down.
I knew that there was something about communism that was wrong. It was contrary to the human spirit. It was a failed economic system, failed social system, failed moral system. Everything about it was wrong. And I knew it would come down.
Not only did its collapse bring about an end to the Cold War, but a new opening. Christians were provided an opportunity to share the gospel with many Eastern Europeans who had never heard it. Another memorable moment came 4 months later, as Billy Graham and Pat Robertson met at the wall in Berlin.
It was a historic moment, and I was with a man who had declared that the gospel should be preached in Eastern Europe. He had gone over there and had been terribly criticized by people for doing that.
He took a lot of criticism.
A lot of criticism, but he knew that those people were hungry for God and that this was a place where the gospel would find a root, and it did.
Millions of East Europeans embraced Christianity. They're still flocking to churches like this one in Budapest, Hungary. Is it over now? Is that window of opportunity over?
I don't think it's over, but it certainly is not near as wide as it was when the wall came down. So those people were so hungry for spiritual reality. Now they have become hungry for materialism.
The world has faced many challenges since that historic weekend in Berlin. 20 years have now passed, and the Cold War has succumbed to hot wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. And the world's likely to face many difficult challenges in the days ahead. But this is a time for remembering and for celebrating a victory.
We forget, we move on, but these moments of triumph in our history, we need to emphasize. And it shows that a free people can triumph over totalitarianism if they're resolute. And we had a resolute president, and he won.
Gary Lane, CBN News.